And the next point is about the preparations before class. And I have a question. First thing, before we start this part, I have a question. Since we have already finished the first 2 points, and I want to ask what preparations I have done, or what you can feel that I have prepared before the training. You can think about it. Okay, from the first 2 points, and the training has lasted for about 1 hour. So what do you think I have prepared before this training? Okay, you have prepared the materials, yes, like slides, pictures, graphics, yes. Of course, the PowerPoint we are using right now, right, is what we have what I have prepared. Any other points? Maybe the questions you asked. Yeah, the questions I have asked. All right. How about others? If yeah, if no feedback, I will feel sad. Of course, I have spent a long time on this training, but you cannot feel it. Yes, and training time, topic, maybe numbers. Okay, yes, and you have said, for example, the materials and maybe the questions I have asked, the training time, I should plan it, right? I should plan the time of training. I should prepare the topic, what I gonna share today, right? Some researches about the adult learners. Yes, maybe I should do some researches before this training about the adult learners. And except that, since you were asked to fill in a questionnaire, so I should prepare the questionnaire before the training, right? I should set the answers in the question. Sorry, set the questions in that, right? And this is an online meeting, right? So I should maybe apply an online meeting, right? I should apply an online meeting in advance, right? And even I should get familiar with all these materials. Of course, I don't want to read the characters one by one. I should prepare before the training, right? I should get familiar with it. Okay, here are all the preparations what I should do. Okay, and then let's see. For all the preparations, I have divided into 4 parts. First, I call it preparation of course content. Course, as an instructor, what you should the basement of this training is you should transfer the content to the student or to the trainees. So you should prepare the course content. Here it says that be familiar with technical content involved in the training materials. You should understand it by yourself, and then you can teach your trainees and analyze their logic to ensure review and maybe the logic inside or the relationship between 2 pages, right? For example, this page, we are discussing the preparations before class, and maybe next page would be another content. So what's the relationship between them, and how do you maybe uh, turn your topic from this page to the next page, right? This is also what you should prepare, and it's involved in the first part, course content. And consider the setting of problems in advance. As you just said, the questions I need to ask or the problems I need to ask should be prepared in advance, right? For example, at page 3, I want to ask a specific question. At page 7, I want to ask, or I need to ask another question, right? And by the way, since here we have mentioned the question, so what do you think the reason why we should ask questions? Why do not just directly tell the answers? Do you know that? Or the difference between maybe just directly share the maybe the point, or maybe ask a question and then summary the answers. By asking questions, actually can first point is that it can attract the attention of the Chinese, right? Once you have asked the question, maybe the Chinese, I don't know if you are a little maybe nervous. Okay, this is a question, and if the channel will ask me to answer it, so once you have this kind of mind, I have already attracted your attention, right? And will be, yeah, the Chinese will be better involved. And of course, except that after asking a question, if you directly share the content with the Chinese, the answers are what you think. But if you ask a question, maybe you could got some unexpected answers from the Chinese, and even it's much better than what you think, right? You could got maybe even some surprise. Okay, this is the first part, preparation of course content. And next is a background check on Chinese. It's very important because for example, the same content, for example, the topic today is maybe the OSPF. Okay, the topic today we're gonna share is the OSPF. It's a very common, or it's a very popular dynamic routing protocol. And the same topic for different Chinese, what I gonna do is different, or what they need is different. For example, for some maybe junior engineers, they know what is OSPF, but about the technical details, they don't master it. So if you deliver the training of OSPF to them, you will spend more time on maybe the working principle of OSPF, maybe messages of OSPF, maybe some, for example, DR election of OSPF, and so on, right? But for some experienced engineers, right, and you are delivering the training of OSPF, maybe they don't want you to share these details. They know it very well. So in this situation, what you should do is to maybe share them some high-level features of OSPF, right? For example, the types of LSAs in OSPF, right? Or even how to work properly with some other routine protocols, and so on, right? So this is the reason why we should check the background of them. Only mastering the background of them can we maybe prepare better for the training. Okay, and let's see what we should do or how can we know the background. Learn about the technical level of trainees and their maybe past work experience. In this way, we can evaluate their technical levels. Okay, and you after knowing the background, you should, based on the background, you should maybe turn or change your way of teaching. And if most trainees start at the low level, provide them with videos for self-learning. For example, today it's the same example. We are teaching OSPF, but even for most of the Chinese, they don't know what is routing protocol. They don't know what is IP address. So even it's impossible for them to understand what is OSPF, right? So in this way, what you can do, maybe you can collect maybe some online courses or some maybe online videos and share it with them in advance. After learning these online courses, and then you will introduce OSPF. It can make it more easier for them to understand. Okay, this is a function of background checking. And next is a preparation of teaching aids. For example, the whiteboard, right? The projector and the computer. Here are some hardwares we should prepare, right? Even the whiteboard, the projector are very important for offline training, right? And the next is about some maybe warm-up music, right? And if it's a training of some maybe solutions or some training of the products, it's better for us to maybe share some videos of this product, of this solution with trainees before the class. So all these materials, no matter it's music, no matter it's video, you should prepare it in advance. Okay. And the last point, and last but not least, okay, it's very important, the preparation of dress. Dress is the first impression of a trainer to trainees. And formal dress is a sign of respect for trainees. And formal dress displays professionalism and helps to promote the confidence. Of course, if you are delivering a training, of course, if you are very experienced and you are very good at this, maybe industry, this field, still after maybe 10 minutes or even 5 minutes, the trainees will recognize that, okay, you are very experienced and they will trust you, right? But if you have formal dress, right? For example, it can help you look more professional, and the first impression of the Chinese would be that, okay, he's very professional, right? Even you are not that professional, but it can help you. Okay, it can help you look much better. Okay, this is also the reason why I'm wearing a tie today. Okay, I think Wenky and Kevin has this is not your first time participating in my training, right? But this is the first time I'm wearing a tie. Of course, I just want to make me look more professional, actually. Okay, so this is the preparations before class, and about the preparations we should do, you should know that the chance favors only the prepared mind. So preparations can help us have a successful training. Okay. And about these 4 points, let's see some details. First is some tools we should use. If it's online training, you should have a camera, right? You should have a camera, and it's better for you to have a headset. But if you feel that the headset is not comfortable, for example, me, I think it's not that comfortable, so you should have maybe a microphone, right? No matter it's extended or it's a integrated microphone, and make sure it's clear. Okay. And then except that, next is a table for handwriting, because if it's an online training and you have to maybe mask, right, or mark, for example, mark on the PowerPoint, or you should write down some key points. So at this time, if you use your mouse, it's not that convenient, right? It's not that convenient, but with a handwriting table, it will be much better. Okay, so of course, except that you could have some other tools. Here, what I have showing here are some necessary tools. Okay, and if it's an offline training, it's different. The first is a whiteboard, right? You should have a Actually, no matter whiteboard or blackboard, it doesn't matter. Okay, you just need to have a board to write down something, and you should pay attention to the pen you use, right? Ensure that it can write down write down clearly. Okay, and the projector to the projector is also very necessary to. Of course, you should share your PowerPoint, share your materials with the trainees. Okay. And since here we have already mentioned the whiteboard, let's see this picture. Now, um, let's see this picture. This is a whiteboard, right? And on this whiteboard, in the man is writing something, right? He's writing something, and what here is another here comes another question. So when we write down some, or when we do the maybe bold writing, right? No matter blackboard writing or whiteboard writing, what you should write down. This is very important. What you should write down, or which types of content should be write down during the training. And actually, during the training, normally, especially for the technical training, for some maybe for some concepts that the trainees should remember, you'd better write it down. For example, OSPF. I want to ask that. Do you know the full name of OSPF? Do you know that the full name of OSPF? Or do you know the full name of maybe STP? Or even do you know the full name of DHCP? These kind of concepts are quite difficult for us to remember their full names, right? And here are just some examples in the training. We could face some other situations or some other concepts like this. So for this kind of concepts, we should write down it. For example, OSPF is open shortest path first, right? STP is spanning tree protocol. So just like this, this kind of content should be write down. Okay, and then another kind is maybe let's see an example here. Okay, the bold writing. You can see this picture. This is bold writing, right? And can you figure out what's content inside? This is process of OSPF packets or OSPF messages exchanging. For example, R1 and R2, they want to establish an OSPF neighbor, and they want to even exchange some routing informations. So the whole process is showing like this. And the reason why we should this kind of contents that actually is very complex, right? It's very complex, and it's very important at the same time. So you should write it down. What the duration when you write down these contents? For example, if no matter it's an online training or it's an offline training, when you write down write down something on the blackboard, all the trainees will focus on it because they are wondering that what you are writing, right? So you can attract their attentions. And except that once you have finished the writing, if they think or if it's important, the students can copy it, right? They can copy it maybe in their textbook, or they can if it's online training, they can maybe shoot this screen, right, to record it. So first function is to attract the students' attention. Next is help them to record the contents. This is the reason why we should have it. But if you want to have a good bold writing, you should prepare it in advance. Let's see. Here it says, as a very important teaching means, blackboard writing directly affects the teaching effect. Right? Of course, for this kind of content, if you do not write it down, if you just say it, it's very difficult for the students to remember it. And the reasonable use of blackboard writing can help teachers to convey information to students for a long time. The reason why it's for a long time because they can record it. So maybe even they forgot it after the training, they can check their recordings, right? And they can visualize abstract concepts. For example, from my point of view, actually this kind of or this process can be called abstract concept, right? So it can help them to understand it. And compared with some multimedia materials, no matter it's for example, you can in the PowerPoint you can design some maybe some how can I say it? You can design some multimedia materials, right? Multimedia materials. It can help them understand. But compared with that, by using both writing, for example, you can use it to answer the unexpected questions from the students. Okay, so it's more flexible. If someone asks the question, but you maybe didn't design or didn't prepare a material before, so you can use blackboard writing to answer this question. This is the reason why we see it's more flexible. Okay, so the blackboard writing should be prepared in advance. And how do we prepare it? Or how to write down a good blackboard writing? Actually, this example is not good enough, actually. But you can see when you write down a blackboard writing, first day is from left to right, from left to right. So you can maybe distribute the whole blackboard into different parts. For example, 4 parts, right? Just like this, 4 parts, and you can use the first part. And then, if it's maybe if the content you want to write down is just like this, is long, so you can use number 2, right? Number 2. And if when it's 4, you can write down number 3 and number 4. Okay. And if you have some main points, here pay attention. If you have some main points, you can use different colors. Here we are using red, right? We're using blue, right? By using different colors, we can point the maybe important parts. Okay, and you can use some maybe numbers to make it more clear. For example, number 1, 2, and the meaning of them are showing here. Okay, it makes it more clear. This is how to design, how to prepare the blackboard writing, and hope it can help you. Okay, and next is a preparation of dress. No matter it's men's wear or women's wear, we should, for example, for the men's wear, we should pay attention to the hair, right? To the hair, to the face, shirt, and men's suits, tie, socks, shoes, right? As accessories and so on. And for the women, it's similar, right? The hair, your makeup, women's suits, sockets, shoes, right? And for example, fingernails, and so on. Okay. And for the preparation of dress, since for different countries, they have different styles, so there is not a strict requirement on it. But I think a proper dress of the instructor should make you looks actually firstly you should look comfortable, and except that you should look maybe tidy, right? And looks professional, right? And looks full power. Okay, so there's there's no some detailed requirements, but you just follow these ideas. Okay, makes yourself looks confident. Okay, here are the preparations of what we should do before the training. Okay, I think this is what we're gonna share today. Okay, what we're gonna share today, what you should prepare before the training, and we have, except that we have introduced the maybe characteristics of adult learners, and we have introduced the difference between an engineer and an instructor, right? And we have introduced what, as an instructor, what we should do, right? The responsibility of us, okay? And this, I think that's it for the for today's content. And before we finishing the training, here I have a question. Okay, the role and the responsibility. And I think you still can remember it, right? The role of the trainer is the man who transfer or survey the training contents to the trainees, right? And as a trainer, we should maybe we should collect the requirements from the students, from the trainees. We should develop the materials. We should deliver the training, and maybe after the training, we should summarize it, and we should maybe, if it's necessary, we should share the materials, right? We should evaluate the result of the training and so on. Okay, this is about the role and the responsibility. And actually, as you can see here, of course, this is a TTT training. So actually, this question is what I have designed here to show you that maybe after the training, you can use some practice questions to do a review. Okay, especially to point out some important or some key points in the training. Okay, so this is a question, and actually, at the same time, it's an example. Okay, and of course, except asking a question, we have a lot of other methods to summary. Okay, to summarize. Okay, so I think that's it. That's a content I want to share today. And about the other points of the training, let's get back to it. Okay, for example, about the here, how to warm up, right? How to attract the attention, how to control the time, how to organize the discussion, how to deal with unexpected problems, and how to make the summary. About the solutions to these problems, we will update it in the coming months by using some videos. Okay, we will update the videos, and once we have updated, I will share the link with you, and you can you can learn it by yourselves. Okay, so I think that's it for the training. And do you have any questions about what we have shared today? Do you have any questions, or is there any other questions you want to know or you want to ask, except what you can see here? Okay, so if you don't have any questions, I think that's all for today's part. Okay, and please following the updated contents. Okay, and thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention.